Good afternoon, my friends, and welcome back to my channel. Today we have another episode of Nerf 101 for you, where we're going to focus on the Nerf Alien Menace series. Now, real quick before we get started, as most of you are already aware, the Nerf 101 series in particular on my channel focuses on new parents and newcomers to the toy blaster and Nerf hobby. I'm making this video series to basically break down each blaster line in order to save you money the next time you go to the store, so you know which blasters to actually target. If that sounds like something that might be useful to you, click that watermark in the lower right hand corner of the screen and it'll take you to a pop-up link so you can subscribe to the channel without actually leaving this video. The Nerf Alien Menace series launched in 2016 with the release of two blasters, the Incisor and the Ravager. It was quickly followed up in 2017 with the Voidcaster. They also followed up with a few different accessories. There was a foam axe, a foam kind of blade, there was a body armor kit, as well as a digital target, all within this series. So my friends, as discussed a little bit earlier in the video, here are the three blasters that were actually released under the Nerf Alien Menace series. You had the Incisor coming in at $39.99, you had the Ravager coming in at $29.99, and you had the Voidcaster coming in at $19.99. So it gave you a wide array of options depending upon your budget. Not only did they give you three different price points to consider, they also gave you three different style blasters. You have a motorized flywheel blaster, a spring-powered blaster, as well as a blaster that works off of the trigger mechanism. And in addition to the price differences as well as the style of blaster, you also had three different capacities. You had 20 dart capacity front load, you had 8 dart capacity front load, and you had 4 dart capacity front load. So, depending on your budget, ideally, it kind of looked on the surface as though the Alien Menace would have you covered on multiple different fronts. And of course, as you can clearly see right here displayed on the table, the aggressive nature and style in the aesthetics of the shell were actually pretty cool. Nerf has since discontinued this series, but I thought this video needed to be made because these blasters are still readily available online and you will run across them in certain stores. So my friends, I do have a question for you because I'm just curious to see if you actually think the way I think. When it comes to the Alien Menace series and the color scheme that they chose to define this series, did you like it or didn't you? I actually think the purple, white, orange, and gray actually look pretty cool, but I am curious to know if you guys think so too. Click that card popping in the upper right-hand corner of your screen and vote. Liked it or didn't like it? Now, as we do in every Nerf 101 video, it's time to go over the ammo type that is compatible with the Alien Menace series, as well as my eye protection recommendation for these particular blasters. So, let's bring up the typical ammo that you'll normally find within this hobby. Now, let's eliminate all of the ones that cannot be fired through the Alien Menace platform. That leaves us the Elite ammo. Now, as far as eye protection recommendation for Nerf Elite style ammo, as previously discussed, normal, regular safety glasses will do the trick. Now, you can never be too safe, so if you feel you want to amp up your safety protection, be my guest, do it. You can never be too safe. So my friends, if it seemed throughout this video that you were just waiting for me to say the word but, well, yeah, that time has come. And I think, honestly, when I go over each blaster individually, you're going to see why, in my opinion, Nerf decided to discontinue this series. So, beginning with the least expensive blaster in the Alien Menace series, the 1999 Voidcaster. This is a front-load blaster, 4-shot capacity, fires by pulling the trigger. In the base of the blaster, it has room for storage for 8 darts, 4 on each side, giving you a max capacity on the blaster of 12 darts at all times. The blaster also has these fake rubber blades on the bottom as well as the top. The top one's actually hard plastic. The bottom one is actually a flexible rubber. And combined with the 2 fins on the back, this actually will double up to actually become a stand if you just want to display it. The problem with this blaster became in the reliability as far as the dart speed. Okay, when you fire this blaster, you simply do it by pulling the trigger. But what I found was, especially on the outdoor range during my in-depth review on this blaster, is that the FPS readings, or feet per second in which the darts fired, were just too inconsistent. One dart would fire okay, the next one wouldn't go very far at all. And in my opinion, the final death blow to the Voidcaster came in 2019 when Nerf released under the Zombie Strike series, the Nail Biter. That replica nail gun features the same trigger firing mechanism, but it gives you an 8-round capacity on an indexing clip with really cool aesthetics and better overall performance out on the range. And for the same price point, that really just sealed the deal for the Voidcaster. So my recommendation would be this. If you actually are interested in this style of blaster, I would definitely push you and lean you more towards the Zombie Strike Nail Biter, which is a much better platform at the same price point. Next up, we have a blaster that really, right from the get-go, it was suffering, because for $29.99, you could have grabbed a Ravager with a vertical prime, 8-shot capacity front load blaster with slam fire. But honestly, the price point is really what killed this blaster. There are just too many good blasters in Nerf's lineup at the $30 price point that you would overlook an 8-round front load blaster. Now, although it fired well in stock form power-wise at 71 feet per second, which is Nerf's elite average, the front barrel and the fact that it would kind of just rotate on its own was a deal breaker for a lot of people out there. To fire this blaster, you're simply going to pull back on the priming mechanism, pull it forward, and take the shot. Once you pull the trigger, you can see the barrel rotates. The problem is, if you're running around it and you flip your wrist, the barrel just rotates on its own and just feels entirely sloppy. It does offer slam fire, so simply hold the trigger and go ahead and take the shot and you're okay. But honestly, between the front barrel and the price point on this blaster, it never had a chance to even get off the ground. And finally, we have the $39.99 average retail price of the Incisor. This 20-shot front-load capacity blaster is a flywheel semi-automatic blaster requiring 4 AA batteries, which you'll insert right here in the stock. It does have a rev trigger as well as a main trigger, so for younger Nerfers, you definitely have to have the coordination to work both. Now, to fire your Incisor, you're simply going to hold on the rev trigger until the flywheels rev up, and then aim and pull the trigger. The blaster averaged 69 feet per second in stock form, which is right around Nerf Elite standards. They do have a unique jam door on this blaster where you're simply going to push on this orange button right here, and this flops up to give you access point underneath in case you have a jam. One of the problems with this blaster, other than the major price tag on it, is the line of sight. When you're actually aiming with this blaster, the barrel is way down here, but the top sight and the way the aesthetics are of this blaster, you can never really gauge where your shots are going from a traditional type of standpoint. And that with a $40 price tag, because honestly, Nerf has so many fantastic options in that price point. This oversized blaster, it really suffered right there. Now guys, I just want to take a quick second in this video because I got a comment yesterday on the very first episode of Nerf 101 that really I appreciated. And there's no other way to put it than I was actually touched by the comment, and I really appreciate the time and the effort that he put into writing it. So I want to share it with you guys, give him a massive shout out, and because of him, I have decided going forward to do a comment of the month, which I will do a personal shout out in the video to that person, and just want to recognize him because this comment meant a lot to me, and I wanted to give him a little bit of extra recognition on it other than a shout out in one of the videos. And Jason, since your comment spurned this idea of comment of the month, I want to do a little something extra for you, my friend. I know you're a dad. I know you have a small child. I'm going to let my son pick something from my collection. I have no clue what it's going to be. We'll figure it out. And then I want to send it to you, my friend, just to say thank you for, 1, the idea, and 2, the heartfelt comments that you sent my way. Much appreciated. So hopefully your son will enjoy what my son picks out for him. And so do me a favor. Quickly email me over at cjnerf@gmail.com, and I'll try to get that out to you as soon as possible. Hopefully you don't live overseas and you live somewhere within the United States so I can kind of keep the shipping costs down. But we'll see what we can do for you, all right? So guys, keep the comments coming in future videos. This way you got your shot at winning maybe a future comment of the month. Now, back to the video. Now, my friends, it's time for our details card so you guys can get a side-by-side comparison of each of these blasters. As far as my son's goes and his favorites in the Alien Menace series, I'll be honest with you. I've had these blasters accessible to him for a while. He actually never really picks them up. So he really doesn't have a favorite because he doesn't mess around with them. Now, as far as my opinion goes of the Alien Menace series, I personally think that at the price point these blasters are going for, there are just better options elsewhere in Nerf. But I will say this, if you can find these blasters at extreme discounted rates, then they might be worth a pickup. But at the current price tags, there are better blasters out there. That's just the bottom line. But I would be remiss if I did not give you the fan feedback. Now, when it came to the Alien Menace series, this was probably the lightest feedback I've had as far as which blasters people like. But nevertheless, here is the fan feedback when it comes to the Alien Menace series. I hope you guys enjoyed this next episode of Nerf 101 Alien Menace series. I will see you on the next video.